Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to the last podcast where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I'm happy you found me. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today, I don't really have a lot to talk about, but I just want to talk about what's on my mind. Loss. It's been on my mind a lot lately. And if you didn't know, I've lost most of my family members that I grew up with. And the last person that I grew up with was my wife, who I've lost 2 years ago on April 6th. And it's been a roller coaster ride, to say the least. You know, I know that if you don't mind, if I just speak my mind here for a moment and tell you a little bit about what's on my heart lately. And I listen, I get it. I know that loss is definitely an inevitable part of life. I get that. I know, but sometimes the impact of what we feel can be so unbearable, whether it's loss of a loved one or even pets or a relationship or a job or a personal dream. I'm not discounting anybody's loss. Any loss hurts, and it could be overwhelming. And I'm not going to discount anybody else's loss, but I know what I'm going through. Sometimes it could leave you broken, sometimes disoriented, and in my case, sometimes emotionally drained. Healing from a loss is not about forgetting or moving on hastily. I know that for sure. Rather, for me, it's about learning to live with the reality that I have. And that's the new change in my life, while finding a path forward, trying to find a new meaning or renewed hope for life. And for me, it's about my resilience. You know, I believe I was here for a reason. I went through a lot when I lost my wife. I went through so many different changes, emotional responses, from being overwhelmed with sadness, guilt, regret, and even anxiety. And some cases, it was the relief of knowing she would not have any more pain or be subject to hospital visits. And even though I wanted her to continue to live, I understand that she had to be taken home, because who would want to live like that in that kind of pain? So yeah, the emotional draining that I had, the guilt, the regret, the anxiety and sadness is overwhelming at times. And believe it or not, being physically fatigued and all the different changes that you go through physically, you know, the appetite, you don't want to eat, and the difficulty of sleeping and even body aches. I mean, I never knew that it can really become so intense. And after losing all my family members that I grew up with, I realized how intense it could be. But I'm just telling you this because it's been weighing on my mind a great deal. And, you know, it's February and we're coming up in April pretty soon. And in February of 2023, I was in the hospital with my wife. I spent 84 days. Every day I was there. And I watched her sometimes suffer unimaginably, and I always prayed that she didn't have to go through that. And believe me, I wish that at times it was me instead of her, because of such a good person, such a good heart she had. I've gone through so many different changes and my questioning my beliefs and feeling abandoned at times when it first happened in that first year. And I'm always searching for like a deeper meaning in life. And don't get me wrong, I'm appreciative that God wakes me up every day and I'm able to move forward. I'm able to smile and I'm able to grow. But sometimes I smile through that pain. Sometimes people don't know what I feel inside, and that's okay. It's not for them to even know. I don't want anybody's sympathy. I don't want anybody to have to even go through what I've gone through. And I know so many millions of people have gone through what I've gone through, but it doesn't take the pain away. And I know within time that pain will become easier to manage. If that pain becomes easier to deal with, that pain becomes easier to live with. But over time, we learn to extract all the joy and not so much of the pain. And we live with that joy in the memory of the love that we had with that person that we're missing. So I wanted to tell you about, my wife was an amazing woman. She was a strong woman. And it's sometimes when you're driving and you're hearing a song or you're hearing something or you drive past something and instantly, you have that recollection, you have that memory, you have that moment where you're back in time and thinking about your wife or your loved one or who you missed or who you've lost or anything of that nature. It's all about sometimes not suppressing our emotions. It's about the healing process, embracing those moments when you have those moments. And it's about feeling the full spectrum of our emotions, our grief, our sadness, our confusion. Sometimes we're just saying, you know what, I got to be in this moment to experience this. So you can heal, so you can grow through it and you can learn through it. And I think you might even be equipped to help others deal with loss after you. So I'll always embrace it. I'll always embrace the grieving process. I may not like it, but I'll embrace it because it makes us understand. It makes us grow. It makes us go through the stages, including the denial, the bargaining, depression, acceptance. We go through all those stages. While these stages are not an experience that you would want to go through, and it's in no particular order, but you'll be able to recognize those stages. And I've gone through so many of those stages, and believe it or not, I still go through some stages. Some stages where I'm lying in bed at night and I can't sleep because my mind is racing about the past. Is racing because I'm in the bed now and I can't even go in another room to look at my wife or see or get on the phone and call my sister or aunt. I can't do any of those things because everyone is gone. So I realized I still have to live. I have to forge new relationships, not to forget the old ones, but I can't be by myself where I'm shutting myself off to new relationships, new experiences. And they would want me to continue to grow and have new friends. And I was always told by my daughter, you need friends. So friends, but I know that grieving process, the pain, the loss, it is deep. And nobody can tell you anything about it because it's not like they can understand, because every loss for every person is different. It's personal because it's you. You have your own thoughts. You have your own feelings. So everything in loss is different. And we don't want to make that loss in any way or form or fashion shortcomings, for lack of a better word. We want to honor the lost. We want to honor their memories. We want to honor the experiences, the love that we had and shared with those who are no longer with us. And creating rituals, some people have to do that, right? Memorials, however it is that you gotta get through whatever you gotta get through. But always remember that you're here for another reason too. And I find solace in that. Okay, God left me, took all my family that I grew up with. God left me, and I still have work to do. I still have a job to do. So I'm going to do it because every day is a gift. Every moment is a gift. Every day that I can get up and I can breathe and I can talk to other people, I have an opportunity to inspire people. I have an opportunity to uplift others. I have an opportunity not only to uplift and inspire, but to also be there to listen, to grow, and to help others develop and find their own way in their own pain, through their pain, when they're in pain. If I can do that, then I'll be that vessel. I'll be that utensil for help. I also believe that when we go through all this grief and we're going all through the pain, we have to find a resilience within ourselves to also look after ourselves physically and emotionally. Because like it or not, grief can take a toll on the body. So self-care is important, because when we're grieving, sometimes we can't eat, sometimes we can't sleep, and we're not even thinking about exercising or getting rest. Sometimes sometimes when we're going through those processes, we neglect ourselves. So we have to find a way where we can find a little balance, where we can take care of ourselves and still go through the grieving process, go through the pain. We have to find a meaning and a purpose. And over time, it's possible to transform that loss into an opportunity of growth. Considering ways to honor that memory, that loved one, use the experiences that you had to enhance the life that you still have left, with more passion, with more resilience, being fulfilled in ways that maybe you wouldn't have felt before. Because one thing is for sure, you would, in the end, appreciate life. You would appreciate the gift of life that you have. So if you're grieving out there, and if you've lost someone or something, be patient with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. The healing process is not a race. It's a deep, deep personal journey that you must go on by yourself. But you still have help around you if you do. Maybe you can talk to people, see and hear and listen to other people who have lost, so you know that you're not alone. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, and some days are going to be downright difficult, hard, and overbearing sometimes. Allow yourself a little grace, knowing that your healing will unfold on its own time. And for many, healing goes beyond emotional and the physical well-being. It extends into a spiritual transformation as well. Engaging in meditation, engaging in prayer, if that's your thing, or spiritual reflection, can provide solace and a renewed sense of purpose. Exploring your beliefs, life's loss, and healing can lead to a deeper understanding of your personal journey. So, how do we move forward with time? Loss reshapes our lives, I believe, and I think for me, it helps me define the life that I have left by embracing a healing process. I'm seeking support from wherever I can and allowing my transformation to unfold in its own possible way within its own time. Then I'll find renewed strength at times. I also find renewed hope at times. The pain of loss never fully disappears for anyone, I don't believe. But I think we can find joy and pain to coexist within our lives. And I think it will provide us with a rich meaning of love and possibility. If you're struggling with loss, know that you're not alone. Healing is a self-journey, and with time, support, and self-compassion, you'll find your way to a place of peace and renewal. I'm sure of it, as I'm finding mine. Those are my thoughts for today. Thank you for listening. Hey, listen, I'll have a new poem for you on Friday. Be blessed and have a great day. And do me a favor, like and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Bye-bye.